Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Renee Harmon. I'm the author of Surfing the Waves of Alzheimer's, Principles of Caregiving That Kept Me Upright. It's a memoir about my husband Harvey and his time with younger onset Alzheimer's disease. Over millions of years, certain plants and animals have adapted and specialized in myriad ways. It's one of the wonders of nature that fascinates me. It's as if these plants and animals thought, how can I best fit into my environment, or attract the best mate, or distribute my pollen more widely and efficiently? And then they thought of ways that they could adapt and change to meet those goals. Two flowers in particular have caught my attention and made me research their particularly odd shape and structure. One is the columbine. There are 60 to 70 species of columbine throughout the northern hemisphere. You can cultivate them in a garden as well. But what's unique about their structure are these long spurs that come off the back of each of the petals. Well, I learned that these spurs contain nectar, which attract their pollinators, which are butterflies, moths, and hummingbirds. So the moth or butterfly will unfurl their coiled tongue into the spur and siphon out the nectar. A hummingbird will insert its beak into the spur and lap up the sweet, sweet liquid. And then while they're drinking, the pollen attaches to their body, their wings, their legs, and they fly away and distribute the pollen in their particular territory. What's really interesting is the shape of these spurs on the columbine flower. They're all different. Each species has a different shape and length of spur. Some are short, some are long, some are straight, some are curved. Each species, the spur matches its pollinator's tongue and or beak. Likewise, the beak and or tongue of the pollinators has adapted and changed to meet the specialized shape of the columbine's spur. Another flower is the mountain laurel. And it's developed a very unique way to distribute its pollen. So normally pollen is produced and made and is present on the tip of the stamen, which are usually upright in most flowers. But in the mountain laurel, they are curved and tethered down into little pockets in each of the petals of the blossom of the mountain laurel. And when a pollinator, such as a bee, lands on the flower, the stamen pop out of, they're spring-loaded, and they pop out of their pockets like a catapult and shower the bee with pollen. So how did these flowers think of these ingenious ways to achieve their goals? Well, it's probably evolution and natural selection. The plants that had an advantage with pollen distribution had a reproductive advantage, and they survived over the other species that weren't as advantageous. So now I invite you to take a cue from nature and learn to evolve your caregiving approach if you are providing care to a loved one who is living with Alzheimer's disease or another dementia. And you have the advantage of being able to learn and adapt in real time rather than waiting the millions of years that the plants and animals do. So the first step would be to try to enter into the mind of your loved one. Enter their world, and often a solution will pop up if you can see it from their point of view. So try something, and if it doesn't work, adapt your technique, shift your tactic, and change and try something else again. And you're necessarily going to have to adapt as the disease progresses. What works well in one stage of the disease won't necessarily work in later stages. And trying the same failed approach over and over again will get you nowhere. If at first you don't succeed, try something else. I've included a link to another video where I describe the different ways I adapted my caregiving in helping Harvey get dressed in the description of this video. So be well and keep your balance. Thank you.